I think the real reason that white people, well, some white people get upset or like don't understand when they see black people in spaces that they're in, or black people in positions of authority or advancing and things like that, the reason that they relate it to like, well, it must be like you're getting something that you're not qualified for, like it is racism, but there's another underlying part of that. And it really boils down to the fact that they can't fathom a reality where you advance in life, where you get a position, where you move up at all without stealing something or stepping on somebody or exploiting somebody. They can't, in their brain, they don't have any recall within their collective history of any time period where they've been able to build without stealing or massacring or doing something to somebody else. So like when they see another group of people, whether that be black people or POC, in positions that they feel like, well, no, that's my position. And when they see them, they think that, well, you couldn't have got it any other way besides taking it from somebody and like stealing it. There's no way you actually worked for it, because in their history and present day, they don't have, even within the country itself, standing up, the United States, they don't have any like precedent of like existing, like moving up, like building without taking something from somebody, without stealing.
So great people, today I want us to talk about something here which is very important. It's a topic that people ignore, and I think it requires our attention. There's these people, the black American people. This is a kind of black people, the people that have been oppressed for a long time. The people that have been kept under the oppression for so many years. Systems have been put in place to make them not succeed or to prevent them from succeeding. But they have managed to beat the system. They have managed to beat the system because the system can't understand them. The system can't master them. They know how they maneuver in between and they get successful. Okay? So my great people, I want to play some clips here of how these people are not believing that black people are succeeding in America, that black people are becoming successful, are able to build businesses, are able to build empires, in the midst of the system that has been put to monitor their movement, to monitor their move, to bar them from getting to the level that these other people are. But they are able to beat the system. So let's dive straight watch these clips, then I come back, we discuss.
I think the real reason that some white people get upset or like don't understand when they see black people in spaces that they're in, or black people in positions of authority or advancing and things like that, the reason that they relate it to like, well, it must be like you're getting something that you're not qualified for, like it is racism, but there's another underlying part of that. And it really boils down to the fact that they can't fathom a reality where you advance in life, where you get a position, where you move up at all without stealing something or stepping on somebody or exploiting somebody. They can't, in their brain, they don't have any recall within their collective history of any time period where they've been able to build without stealing or massacring or doing something to somebody else. So like when they see another group of people, whether that be black people or POC, in positions that they feel like, well, no, that's my position. And when they see them, they think that, well, you couldn't have got it any other way besides taking it from somebody and like stealing it. There's no way you actually worked for it, because in their history and present day, they don't have, even within the country itself, standing up, the United States, they don't have any like precedent of like existing, like moving up, like building without taking something from somebody, without stealing. Like they have no creativity in their mind. Well, not even creativity, they have no recall and lack the imagination to imagine that being a possibility. So when they see a black person or a POC in spaces and things like that, it's got to be the DEI thing, even though it don't make sense. That's the only thing they have in their brain. It's like the only way you able to make it, the only way I know you make it in this world is by stealing stuff and like, exploiting and like taking things away from people that belong to them. Think things, and that's it. That's all they got. So yeah, it's racism, of course, but it's also, there's another part of that psychologically where they just don't have the recall. There's no precedent set yet, and they refuse. I don't know. to set a precedent where they can, advance, evolve without exploiting or stealing from other people across the globe and right next door. So that's it. They just can't understand in their brain and just don't connect. Like, how were you able to make it as a black person? And then to look at a black person and know, like, black people's history of subjugation and oppression, and then see you actually moving. They're like, no, there's absolutely no how you fucking doing that. Blows their brain. So they had to come up with something. And the only thing they come up is what they were able to do since the beginning of days. And by the way, yes, that is stealing from other people. Taking all the things. Culture, resources, land. That's it. That's all they have. Unfortunately for them, because eventually you keep resting on the fact you got to steal while other people making advancements on their own, pulling their own selves up by the bootstraps, even without fucking boots, making the boots themselves. Come a day where you don't even know how to make boots. You don't know how to do anything. Okay, y'all have a great day.
I'm going to touch on something that could be a little bit sticky, but I think it's very important for us to have this conversation. Can we have a conversation about how we need to start rewriting what black wealth looks like? Can we start rewriting what black wealth looks like? Because what I've come across, and I think a lot of you guys have probably also come across or are experiencing as well, is that black wealth, man, is starting to look very, very materialistic, but that has no backbone. It's very materialistic and has no backbone, to the extent where if your source of income had to vanish for whatever apparent reason, you have no place to hide. So we start seeing exactly how you built your house, your figurative house. We start seeing exactly what you put value in as a black person. It's very, very important that we need to start rewriting the concept of what black wealth is. And right now, it seems quite materialistic. It seems as if we need to show that we've made it in life. But when we start looking intrinsically as to what this picture is that you've created for yourself as a black person, starts becoming shocking. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to bash us black people, the middle class, the people that are making it in life. But I'm saying this because over the number of years I've been in financial planning, I've really seen that we are so bloated in expenses. We are bloated in debt. And we have really little to no assets in our names. And even how we carry out our lifestyles, it doesn't aid to us building something that we could even leave as a legacy or could be considered to be generational wealth. That car that you have is not generational wealth. Those beautiful items of clothes that you have is not generational wealth. Those restaurants that you go to all the time, and I'm not saying don't go at all, but the restaurants that you go to all the time, it's not generational wealth. So what I'm now realizing is that the concept of black wealth has been so misconstrued that we're really not getting to the bottom of what wealth should be in itself. We're not acquiring assets. We're not acquiring stability and financial sustainability. We're not acquiring something that we know we can transfer to the people that will hold on to our legacy. And I know a lot of it has got to do with, one, financial trauma, two, where we are as society, three, where social media is. And I know there's a lot of components that have really catapulted what we consider as black wealth. But when we really start trimming the fat, we start realizing that, no, man, this is not actually what it is, hey? It's not actually what it is. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're generating a good amount of money, and it feels like a good amount of money to you, but you really don't know where it's going, or it's all going to materialistic things, start thinking about how you can rewrite your narrative. Start seeing how you can start contributing to this new custom of what Black wealth is. And what that is true wealth. And true wealth is you acquiring assets, you living a lifestyle that encompasses your values, not what society says, but encompasses your values and what you want to transcend to your kids and to your legacy. Some food for thought.
The best victim is a dead victim, and racism quite literally kills, but people refuse to see it for the public health crisis that it is. I've been reading Plundered by Professor Atuhene, which talks about how predatory governance and illegally inflating property taxes quite literally led to the demise of Detroit and caused one of the most wealthiest cities with a huge Black population to lose so much of the generational wealth that was meant to be passed on to their children. The city of Detroit has more property tax foreclosures than any other American city since the Great Depression. As of 2009, the local government has confiscated 1 in 3 homes, robbing over 100,000 families of wealth, stability, and the relationships that they have developed with neighbors over the decades. Between 2009 and 2015, the city of Detroit inflated the market value of 53 to 84% of its homes, violating the Michigan's constitutional rule on how to properly calculate property taxes, resulting in the city of Detroit overtaxing homeowners by at least $600 million. Out of the 63,000 Detroit homes that had delinquent tax debt in 2019, the city overtaxed about 90% of them. The systemic overtaxation has caused an enormous transfer of wealth from homeowners in this majority Black city to government coffers. The professor goes on to talk about this intergenerational phenomenon called root shock, which is the traumatic stress reaction to the destruction of all or part of one's emotional ecosystem, which causes weakened communities more vulnerable to negative forces, chronic illness, and even death. Racism kills. The professor highlights how it is a combination of racist policies such as racial covenants, urban renewal, redlining, blockbusting, predatory mortgage lending, and illegally inflated property tax assessments that are to blame for why so many Black people in the city of Detroit lost their homes. But instead, like we tend to do with systemic issues and systemic racism, we put the blame on the individual, saying that they have some sort of character or moral flaw that caused them to be in that position. There are so many racist policies that combine to make this issue. You have to have a multi-hyphenated and a multifaceted approach to systemic racism. Although this book is focused on Detroit, this is also the story in so many other cities in this country that have majority Black populations. I would highly recommend this book for people to truly understand the many factors that are prohibiting Black people from generating wealth in this country. I will be adding this book to my list of additional resources if any of y'all are interested in learning more about the racial wealth gap. It's linked in my bio. You can give me a follow and watch my previous videos. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, bye.
You would think that Black people have made financial progress over the last 160 years, but I have some news for you. We haven't. Yes, we have Black billionaires now, like Robert Smith, Dave Stewart, Oprah, Michael Jordan, and they're killing it, man. And yes, the Black middle class has also grown, but probably not in the ways that you think. You see, when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, listen to this, the Black community owned 0.5% of the wealth in the U.S. By the way, that is 0.5% of the wealth in the United States, which ain't a lot. Now, because slaves couldn't own anything, that's not surprising because Black people, we didn't even have the opportunity to accumulate wealth back then. But you want to know something mind-blowing? Today, more than 160 years later, the percentage of wealth that Black people own in the United States is, guess what? Guess how much? 1%. It has barely budged. So right now, today, Black people only own about 1% of the total wealth in the United States. So it may seem like we've come a long way, and a select few really have. But collectively, we have barely moved the needle.
Y'all be getting tired of me talking about stuff like this, and y'all be thinking like I'm OD and I'm just dragging it, but I promise y'all I'm not. The example, the story time I'm finna give y'all is literally the reason why I be saying stuff I be saying. If the shoe fits, then wear it, Cinderella. If not, keep scrolling. Don't be coming to my comments talking about some, well, not all, babes. Yeah, majority, but not all. Y'all be thinking I'm lying when I say that a lot of white women, literally, they do not like seeing a black woman do better than them. They do not like seeing a black woman who is prettier than them. They don't like seeing a black woman that overpasses them. As long as you're not doing better than them, then they're good. I'm friends, she's black, with a girl who runs track, and I was spending some time with her, like, you know, talking with her. I talked to her in a minute. I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, I'm on the phone, and I'm talking to her, and she's telling me about this teammate who's also her roommate. She's white. She started telling me about the passive and microaggressive behavior that her teammate would show her during practice and in her dorm room. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? Explain. She told me about a situation where, like, every day at practice, she beats her. Her times are always faster than hers. Like, you know, she overpasses her in everything she does. She said she would look at her white teammate whenever they would get done running and ask her if she's good, if she's okay, because she'd be huffing and puffing and breathing hard like she ain't, you know, took a breath in hours. And she said the white girl was just like side at her, give her a dirty look, or just won't say nothing. Then she said there was this one time when they were in practice and they were doing time trials and they were running and whatnot, and she ended up beating her. My friend, the black girl, she's not the fastest on her team. There's maybe like a few people that's faster than her by a little bit, but she's like top 3, top 5. And the people that's faster than her, maybe by like a little bit, are not black, but still. There was one day in practice they were doing the time trials, and after everybody got done running, her roommate, the white girl, starts crying, and people start surrounding her, asking her what's wrong, and her teammate looks at her, not the other girls that's faster than her. She looks at my friend, the black girl, and goes, she can't be better than me. She can't be better. She can't be faster than me. Like, white women do not like seeing black women surpass them. Like, I kid y'all, I'm not making this up. I looked at my fan, because we over the phone. I'm looking at my friend, I'm like, she said that out loud, or did she say that to you, or did you just hear it around the grapevine? She said no, she said that out loud. That's what she told the people that was checking on her, that was asking about her. She was like, she said it out loud. She said she cannot be better than me. She cannot be faster than me. Mind you, my friend, the black girl, is not the fastest on the team. She's top 5, but she is not the top fastest. Top fastest are not even black. But it's like she picked my friend out and was like, oh, she can't be better than me. She can't be faster than me. Do y'all see what I'm like? Do y'all see what I'm talking about though? Like, do y'all see what I mean? It's like I was having a conversation with my best friend like a week ago, and we got a kind of like a mini argument about this, because he was trying to say, well, Shay, not all white people are bad, not all white girls are bad. And I said, I'm not saying every white person is bad. You got to read the fruits of their spirits first. I was explaining to him, bro, a lot of these white people will smile and kiki in your face, because I think I've seen videos and I've met her teammate before. She's really sweet, super nice. But I was like, a lot of these white women will smile and kiki and haha in your face. A lot of these white people will smile and kiki and haha in your face. But when you're not around, you're having conversations with their families about how they feel about black people, how they feel about people of color. Low key, they be hiding, you know, envy in their heart. They be in these one-sided competitions with you. My friend was literally telling me that there's times where she would do things and say things and try to pick fights with her, and you could tell that she's doing it just to get a reaction out of her. That's what I'm not saying all white people are bad. I'm not saying all white women are bad. I am not. You know, I can read the fruits of the spirit of someone, and I can tell if they're like, you know, a genuine person or not. A lot of y'all, when you're dealing with white people, especially as a black woman, when you're dealing with white women, this is a tick for tack game. And I promise you I win every time. This is a tick for tack game with them. You gotta have strategy when dealing with them. I told my friend, I said, you need to make sure you're praying over yourself. I said, you need to make sure you keep yourself prayed over, watch your back and whatnot, because to be around someone like that is dangerous. So it's very obvious that she's envious of you. It's very obvious that she's in this one-sided beef with you. And I said, anything that she can do to trip you up, get you in trouble, do anything to screw you up, she's going to do it. And then play victim and act like she ain't do nothing. I said, you need to be careful. This is what I be talking about. Like, I know y'all be thinking, oh, Shay's dramatic, Shay's just so super pro-black. No, like, these are real life situations that people are going through. It's a dangerous position to be in. Like, I don't.
Help me make some sense out of this, you guys. White people, the melanin deficient people, Europeans, they don't want to be black. However, whenever you find a reason why they are not black, they tend to get upset and call you racist and all sorts of things. I find it really ridiculous, because then we telling you that why you can't be black, why you're not black, because you don't want to be black anyway. So why are you upset? either you want to be or you don't want to be. But you're not. Because black people are not mixed with any animal, with any monkeys or anything. But you are. So you are the one who are partially human, I suppose, because you don't have 100% human DNA. It's not that I don't love white people, you know. But I think the illusion, we need to get rid of the delusion of grandeur or the illusion that you're supreme. You are not. And it's time that you reach to that conclusion that you are not supreme. You are not 100% human. You have tricked the 100% human into thinking that they are partially human. But you are the ones that are not human. You are the savages. And that's why it's easy for you to abuse young children, abuse each other, because you are savages. Because it is not that ordinary for us, for black people, to abuse little kids and the disrespect to the elderly and all these things. Because we are peaceful people. Because we are 100% human. So we are connected to the universe. We have a heart. A heart that knows how to love and how to be empathetic. Okay, so I hope that this clarifies something that usually is the person who is not supreme who tries to be supreme. And the person who is supreme is a humble one. Because who will compete with number two? You only compete with black people because black people, you know, are number one. You only compete with the winners to be a winner. So there we go. Follow me for more, and I hope that we understand each other. It's not about hatred and racism and disrespecting. It's about acknowledging truth.
Now, after watching these clips, good people, I want us to talk about the historical barriers which were real, yet progress happened. From slavery, segregation, and Jim Crow laws to redlining and mass incarceration, the system was built to suppress black progress. Despite this, black communities have made extraordinary strides in education, politics, arts, science, and business. Number 2 is educational success. Black college enrollment and graduation rates have risen significantly in the last 50 years. Historically, the black colleges and the universities have produced leaders, scientists, lawyers, and doctors who shape the US and the world. Then another point is the political representation. Let's talk of Barack Obama, the first black US president, symbolizing both representations and influence on the global politics. Today, there are more black mayors, senators, Congress members, and judges than at any point in the United States history. Then number 4 is about the business and the wealth creation. Black-owned businesses contribute billions to the United States economy, from small startups to billion-dollar enterprises. Many black entrepreneurs have built generational wealth against all odds. It is really unbelievable. Then number 5 is the art, sports, and culture. Black Americans dominate global culture. The music, sports, fashion, and film are deeply influenced by the black creativity. Icons like Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, and LeBron James are global household names. Then number 6 is the STEM and the academia. Black scientists, inventors, and academics have broken barriers. People like Dr. George Washington Carver, Katherine Johnson, the NASA mathematician, and many more modern innovators in tech and the field of medicine. Then we have got a community strength and resilience. Despite oppression, black communities build institutions, they build churches, and social justice organizations that continue to empower new generations. Movements like Black Lives Matter show leadership and organizing power against systemic injustice. Last but not least, despite the existence of the system, black people still get successful. Black incarcerations, police brutality, housing discrimination, and wealth gaps still affect black Americans. Yet, these obstacles have not stopped individuals and communities from thriving and shaping the American society. So, great people, what do you think about the success of black people despite barriers put in place to block them? Please comment below in the comment section, and of course, if you love this channel, subscribe. You know, if you subscribe, YouTube gets to promote our videos to the world. So thank you so much, and until we meet again in my next video show. This is your guy, Fred from the motherland.